Hey, it's so good to see everybody's faces. I'm scrolling through, and each face has a story. Mr. Williams, it's good to see you. It's good to see you, and it's so good to see so many of you. I wanted to start off by saying we're experiencing right now something that we saw a lot of last spring when we went to distance learning. It was not what we anticipated. What we found out is that by going online, we were able to create a virtual community that was hard to create in actuality with everybody's busy schedules. So thank you for probably making, and I think Susan, you're right, the largest parents association meeting in the history of the school. And while it's virtual, while we're online, it still matters that we're talking with each other. And I just want to thank you for taking the time to be here. Getting school reopened essentially became a full-time summer project for about 9 people who worked 5 to 6 days a week, 10 hours, 12 hours a day, to get us up and running. And I couldn't be more pleased with what we've come up with. I couldn't be more pleased with the way teachers have responded, the way students have responded. It was a lot of work, but it was all worthwhile. What we know is that students learn best when they're engaged face-to-face, even if that means that there'll be a weekend and a week away, a weekend and a week away. We know that's especially at the beginning of the school year. And so we think we're striking a healthy compromise here. I would, I'm not kind of bragging when I say it was a lot of work, but I would point out that for me, it gets at something that I've said over and over again. Hudson's a small school, but we're a mighty school. We like challenge, we like problems, and we want to work at solving them. And I can't thank your kids enough for being part of that solution. When Susan invited me to attend the meeting, I was thinking back when I was first a principal in Winnetka, Illinois, and I attended Parents Association meetings in the way that Susan acts as the liaison with the school. I really enjoyed my PA meetings, in part because I was very early on learned that a school administrator's relationship with parents is fundamentally based on trust, respect, and appreciation. And that's all I've experienced since I've been here. And I look forward to working with everyone. I look forward to working with Susan in both ways that we have established. And I think we're at a place where we could establish some new ways of connecting, some new ways of building community. And so I thank you for being part of this conversation this evening. I've shared a couple ideas with Susan. I'm very, very aware that you're doing something that's monumental. You're entrusting the education of your child to us. There's nothing more precious to a parent than their child. And so thank you. We will hold that faith and trust and hope that we meet your expectations. We know that parents can be the school's best supporters. They can also be the most effective and constructive critics. So I invite both of those roles. Please, please, please stay in touch. There are lots of kind of ways to stay in touch. We put an enormous amount of work into publishing the Monday letter, and we try not to make it too much. Our fundamental weekly shot is our weekly letter. We don't think that that's the only way. Obviously your child has a number of teachers, and I think you should feel comfortable emailing your teachers, your child's teachers. And I have found as a teacher, a full-time teacher for 17 years, email is a better way to initially connect and then maybe set up a phone conversation if that needs to happen. I want to talk just a little bit about my experience with PA parent associations, and it's based on really since 1993. I've been working with parent associations. There are a couple things, a couple elements that I'm just going to push out, and in no way should this be considered directive or not even counsel. It's just reflecting on my experience as a school administrator who's been working with parent associations for now 27 years. And that is that a good set of short bylaws really serves the organization well. And bylaws that are reviewed on a yearly basis by a small group of people who just want to make sure, that the parent association is doing what they say they're doing. And if they want to kind of consider an expansion, then it's done with, in conversation with the whole community. Parents are comfortable with some kind of small leadership, whether it's a set of 4 leaders or an executive committee who just kind of keep momentum going and help kind of appoint maybe committee leaders if the parent association decides to have separate committees. The thing that those 2 things are the things that I've seen that are key to really kind of effective parent engagement in just helping the school be the very best school that it can be. There are a couple updates that I want to make sure you know about, and you probably already do know a number of things. That we sent out a school reopening document in late July, early August. I think July 29th, actually. So, and in it, we talked about how we're opening up school again. To do that, we had to deconstruct the entire theater and turn that into a large classroom. We also had to take the cafeteria and turn that into a large classroom. A number of parents have been generously involved in redesigning our cafeteria to make it slightly more comfortable, slightly more kid-centric, and that program was down the road. It was, that project was down the road, and it's on hold until we really get out of COVID-19. But we'll get right back to it. The project that we're working on right now is expanding our studio art program, and we have rented space about a 90-second walk from school, just up the block. And we've started work on a really beautiful studio art classroom. And that's really our top priority in terms of immediate facility changes. And you'll hear updates from Susan on that, because Susan's on the inner circle on that project. Do know that we offer tech support for all Hudson students and Hudson parents starting at 7:30 a.m. in the morning. And your students already know this. They've already gotten the email. They've already plugged it into their system. But Justin McCormick, our IT director, will be sending something out to parents. If you ever have questions about connectivity, about your child's work vis-a-vis connection, don't hesitate to shoot Justin McCormick a question, or simply join in at 7:30. He loves early morning problems. A couple things that have come up just in the first couple days. It's clear to me that kids came to school knowing that mask discipline is really, really important, and that hand washing, hand sanitizing is really important, and that social distancing is really important. But we're going to need to keep emphasizing it because it's really clear there's a thing called caution exhaustion, where you just get so tired of being cautious that you get careless. And And so we will be having classes in hand washing. We will be talking with kids about making sure that their masks are good and tight. And please know that you know, repetition sometimes is the thing, is the magic that kind of makes things work. We're reminding them day in and day out that we're doing this not only to protect themselves, ourselves, but to protect everybody else in the school and those family members. So if you have suggestions along that, or if you hear of something that maybe we're missing, don't hesitate to fire off an email to Holly Walker or myself or Susan, because we'll certainly want that feedback. The other thing we're watching out for is that we're a little concerned that some of the middle schoolers are just used to taking home every book every day, and that makes book bags a little heavy, and we're seeing that in 6th and 7th grade already. So we're going to be watching that all week, and at homeroom in the afternoon, we're going to go over what they need to take home and what they can leave here. So we're a little concerned. We want to watch the weight of the backpacks. We have a faculty group that a number of us are part of who feel like it's important as a school to recognize the important point that our American society is in right now. And you know, we're a school, we're a civilization that is facing enormous climate change issues. We're facing unprecedented social unrest and protest that is widespread and, in my estimation, understandable, and something that we need to listen to deeply. We are looking at a reconsideration of really 400 years of racial injustice that there's a chance we can actually address and deal with this. And so, you know, one idea that I would like to put forward is and it's in the notes, by the way, that because I shared this with Susan and she put it in the PA notes. My first summer here, I asked the entire faculty to read Just Mercy, and it's a marvelous and fairly short, easily read piece on incarceration in America, and how one person can make a huge difference. Since the book came out, they made it into a movie, and the movie is very good too. But you'll probably be hearing from me. I'd be interested in having a parent reading group, starting off with this, but maybe on a monthly basis, or every 2 months, have a group read, and then gather in small groups of, say, 10 or 15, which I would be happy to convene. And if I'd love it if a parent wanted to co-convene with me. But I'm very interested in doing what I can do as head of school to help us all be ready to address the myriad of social issues that are coursing through our society right now. And not only for our own good, but also for the good of our children.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. What a great night. And I'm so happy that everyone joined in. And I really look forward to all of us working together. It'll be great. And if you have anything, please just reach out.